This was back in 2015. I set off on a road trip to a forest a few hours from my home. My goal? An abandoned fire lookout perched high above the trees, a place I dreamed of exploring. Officially, going inside or camping there was illegal. The structure hadn't been maintained in years and could collapse at any moment. I'd done my research online. Most posts said it was fine, but the latest report was 3 years old. I had no idea what I'd find. I parked my car in a small roadside ditch, slung my backpack over my shoulders, packed with today's worth of gear, and began the hike. There was no real path, just dense forest stand I navigated with a handheld GPS, hacking through brush and undergrowth. The trek took 4 to 5 hours, the forest growing denser with every step. I clung to the hope that the lookout was still safe enough to spend the night. If not, I'd have to find another place nearby. Finally, I saw it. The building peaked above the trees. From a distance, it looked worn, paint peeling, but structurally solid. I pushed on the support beams, they held firm. I climbed the metal ladder cautiously. Each step creaked beneath me, but it felt secure. At the top, the view stole my breath. Endless forest stretched in every direction. No houses, no roads, just the wilderness. Inside, the lookout was tiny, maybe 150 square feet. A decaying bed lay in one corner, a rotting wooden desk in another, with windows spanning the walls. I set my bag down, rolled out my mattress and sleeping bag, and cooked a small meal on my camping stove. As the sun dipped below the horizon, I walked out to the ledge, savoring one of the most breathtaking sunsets I'd ever seen. Darkness fell quickly, the clouds hiding the moon and stars. Alone in the quiet, I sat on the ledge. Then I saw something moving below. A flickering light, orange like a torch, danced between the trees. No trail nearby, no obvious path. Who could be out here? The light disappeared, and for 30 minutes, I saw nothing more. Eventually, I noticed a figure standing in the grass between the lookout and the woods, staring up at me. I called out, "Hello." Silence. Then a slow lift of the hand, as if acknowledging my presence. Before the figure vanished into the darkness, I told myself it was just another hiker, checking out the lookout. I went inside and tried to sleep. The wind howling against the windows and wooden beams creaking under the weight of the night. Hours later, I woke to the unmistakable creak of the ladder outside. Someone was climbing up. My heart pounded. I grabbed my backpack and cautiously stepped onto the ledge. The creaks grew louder, faster, and then nothing. Nobody on the ladder. Suddenly, footsteps rushed behind me, fleeting glimpses of a dark figure running between the windows. I didn't hesitate. I scrambled down the ladder, my body shaking from adrenaline, until I reached the forest floor. With flashlight and GPS in hand, I navigated back to my car, heart racing, and drove away. Never looking back. Another time, I camped by a small, secluded lake for the weekend. It was a quiet spot known only to locals. My dad had taken me here as a child, and over the years, I'd never seen anyone else. The first day passed peacefully, but on the second day, as I circled the lake, I spotted footprints at the edge of the tree line, barefoot, fresh, and leading back into the forest. My stomach dropped. Who else could be here in this isolated place? I returned to my camp, keeping watch. Night fell, and with it, footsteps approached. 2 figures emerged, a man and a woman, walking slowly into the edge of the firelight. Their faces were obscured. The man was barefoot. I asked if I could help. The woman ran into the woods. The man stayed silent, then quietly turned and followed her. My heart was racing. I packed up my camp quickly and left, walking through the woods for nearly 2 hours, hearing footsteps running sporadically behind me. Somehow, I made it back to my truck and drove away, shaken but alive. A couple of years ago, I was traveling in a small camper van along the West Coast. I avoided cities, preferring backcountry camping where it was quiet and safe. One rainy evening in Washington, I pulled onto a remote dirt trail, hoping for a scenic spot. At the end, I found a secluded circle surrounded by trees, a stone ring for a campfire. I parked, leveled my van, and prepared dinner on my propane stove. Rain pattered relentlessly on the roof. As I watched a show on my laptop, a light reflected on my screen. It blinked out as quickly as it appeared. Outside, it was pitch dark, pouring rain. I assumed another camper's headlights, but there was no road nearby. Then, something scraped against the van's side door. A knock. And another. A voice called out, "Sheriff's Department, open up." My blood ran cold. I looked out. No uniform, no badge, just a dark figure drenched by the rain. My instincts screamed danger. I slid into the driver's seat and started the engine. Footsteps ran alongside the van as I pulled onto the trail. Figures appeared at the window, then disappeared into the storm. I drove off, heart hammering. Reporting the incident later, but the county said no officers were in the area that night. Being alone in the woods can feel freeing, even safe. But sometimes the forest hides more than just trees. These encounters left me shaken, questioning reality, and taught me a simple truth. In the wilderness, some mysteries are better left unexplored.